Welcome to Excalibur Online Global Speakers. I'm Samir Malak, your Sergeant at Arms. I've got a couple of administrative things to take care of before we get started. Please mind your mic. If you're not speaking, let's honor our speakers. And that was because I was muted. Mind the chat. Please be discerning about when you use it out of respect for whoever is speaking and what's happening at the time. Now, I want you all to be active listening. Be that beautiful audience that's going to help us move into this celebration. Clapping, jazz hands, using those lovely emojis. Are you ready to show support and share in the celebration? Are you ready? Then give it up for our president, Andrew P. Bennett.
Excalibur Online Global Speakers Charter members, our wonderful guests, those from District 91 and from further afield, are you ready to party? I sincerely hope so, because this is our charter celebration. We are now an officially affiliated club in Toastmasters International. We've done a lot of hard work to get to this level, and we deserve the chance for a really good party evening tonight. So I'm counting on you all. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Those are the words of Edward Everett Hale, who was a speechwriter for several politicians in the past. And they're very truthful words. This club has been created by a team, a committee that have worked tirelessly behind the scenes. It began when I met up with my Vice President of Education, John Akers, back in November, and then progressed to January, by which time we had a full committee and we started to work together on this project, Excalibur Online Global Speakers. An online advanced speaking club would reach out across the oceans into many lands. And I'm so glad to see that we've succeeded and we live up to our tagline, which is empowering advanced communicators. It's so exciting to be able to share this meeting with you this evening. But I want to bring those folks on stage, on the virtual stage, first of all. So Christian, who is my Vice President of Public Relations, do bring the committee and also sponsors on the screen with me, because I think we really should give them a round of applause and celebrate them. Would you like to do that, please, Christian? Let's get them on the virtual stage. Here you come. You're moving whether you knew you were moving at all or not, committee. There comes Mark. He's the Vice President of Membership. Great to have you on board, Mark. You've done such a tremendous amount of work for us. Samir, who is our Sergeant at Arms, also a sponsor of the club. So well done to Samir. Fantastic. Pema, our club secretary. What would we do without a secretary to keep us all our stuff nicely in order for us? Thank you for that. And here comes John, my Vice President of Education. Congratulations on this charter meeting. Beverly is there. She is our treasurer. So you're getting to know gradually all the members of the team. Thank you, Beverly. Wonderful. Lynne. Now, Lynne is Club Growth Officer for District 91, but she has also been our club sponsor. So isn't that a wonderful thing to have her as a sponsor in this club? Thank you so much for your dedication. And here's Christian, our Vice President of Public Relations, and indeed also our Zoom master for the evening. What a fantastic team. Don't you think you better get the emojis going and some jazz hands to applaud this fantastic team? I love having them alongside me because everything is possible with a team like this. They have such a skill set, and a lot of them have a great deal of Toastmasters experience behind them. So it's fantastic to be able to work with them and be with them. Thank you, team, and onwards we go. Beyond charter now. That's wonderful. Also, I would like to thank this evening a club which has been our sponsoring club. Excalibur Speakers is a club that meets in person in central London, and it's been meeting for over 25 years now. It's an advanced club, and you'll find them working up in the running their meeting in a pub in central London. It's a fabulous, fabulous Toastmasters group. And it was just a little while ago that we decided that what became the online meeting of Excalibur, because we were widening our boundaries, should become a club in its own, Excalibur Online Global Speakers. But Excalibur speakers have been there all the way through for us. So I want to say a big thank you to their treasurer, who is Ken, who is also a charter member of this club too. So thank you to Ken for his efforts. To Bentz, who is their vice president of membership. There's Ken. Thank you, Ken. Bentz, I'm not sure if he's with us this evening, but Bentz Becke is their vice president of membership. He's also helped us along the way. And I want to introduce onto stage now the president of Excalibur Speakers for this Toastmasters year. Now, we know him as an avid contest speaker. He's a very witty speaker and generally an all-round splendid character, and he's been there in the background helping us too. So I want you to raise your hand, your emojis, shout out if you like. Welcome onto the stage, Adam Paldyna, president of Excalibur Speakers, and he is going to present the charter certificate to the club and say a few words. Hi, Adam. I'm so pleased to see you.
And I am absolutely delighted to see you, Andrew, and fellow Toastmasters, fellow charter members, guests, ladies and gentlemen, the world over. And I should be saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is such a proud day, isn't it? And I mean, it's, for me individually, it's a privilege to, to be a witness to this very special occasion. But I think it's an even bigger testament to the work of everybody who has either been a part of this journey or has made it to this gathering today. Andrew, I really want to hurry on and give you and all the charter members the chartering certificate, but this is an important moment. I do want to spend just a little moment just reflecting on how significant this is. And I think you started to touch on it in your introduction. There is actually a point where I have a slightly different take to Andrew on what what the chartering of a club means. I often say, any of you who visits Excalibur Speakers at the Clarence in Mayfair will know that I see Excaliburs as a community, and that goes for both the in-person online club. And with that in mind, when I look at the chartering of a club, I don't necessarily see it as the beginning of the community. It's a recognition of what has already been built, and we know that the building of Excalibur's speakers community that started nearly 3 decades ago, 1st of June 1998. Get deep in the heart of central London. And yeah, there's been various iterations, there's been various addresses and faces which have come through the doors, but the mission, empowering excellent public speakers, has always been the same. And if you fast forward to today, we've got a community across both of our clubs, which span almost 50 members across nearly a dozen countries, an alumni of world-class public speakers, leaders, business people. This wasn't built in a day. And the same story is true of Excalibur Online Global Speakers. I think the first time, Andrew, you've reflected on the long journey that it has been to realize Excalibur Online Global Speakers. I could see the green shoots of it from the moment I first walked into an Excalibur's meeting. It was March 2023, and I came into Excalibur Speakers as a guest, and the meeting was in a hybrid format. We had people in the room at Hotel 63 near Hyde Park in London, but we also had some still familiar faces joining online. And since I became a full-time member of Excalibur Speakers later on that year, I've seen how this online club evolved from a very proactive and energized, but still small number of fantastic members to the community of people that we have here today. And you're right, it was built by a team. And how many people do we have? Do we have to recognize here? Andrew, yourself, of course. Beverly, Pemma, Lynne, Mark, John, Samir, Krishnan, Verity, Ken, Bent, many others who again who were involved in this journey. You have elevated this club and you've elevated this community to the point where now it has been rightly recognized as its own Toastmaster entity. And sure, the geographies and the time zones of of these two clubs now are different, but as Excalibur clubs, we do have that same culture of community-led learning. We have that same culture of ambition to achieve excellence, and we have the same culture of sharing that experience with with each other and with the Toastmasters communities and our own communities the world over. So, with all of that said, the moment which all of you have been very patiently waiting for. I'll ask Krishan to put up on screen with great pleasure and enormous pride, and of course, congratulations from everybody at Excalibur Speakers, the official charter of Excalibur Online Global Speakers. Andrew, team, a huge congratulations to all of you. We are all absolutely delighted, and I'm incredibly excited, not just to hand back to you, but to let this inaugural chartered meeting of the club to continue.
Adam, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I wanted it to be you that presented us with this certificate to represent Excalibur Speakers who've been so important in our journey so far. We are indeed brother clubs. We are joined together. We are joined at the hip. In fact, we're twins. We're joined at the hip. And won't it be great when there'll be Toastmasters who come to stay in London, maybe for work for a while or a holiday, and they come to the in-person club. And then folks who move from London can still enjoy the Excalibur experience because they will join the online club. Isn't that a fantastic thing that wherever you are in the world, well, you can't escape from Excalibur? And I think that's a good thing indeed. Thank you so much, Adam, for sharing that with us. It's thrilling to see the certificate up on the screen. I would like now to introduce to you the person who is going to facilitate this meeting for us this evening. We call him the Toastmaster of the Day. And he considers himself to be a constant work in progress. Well, that is very modest as far as we're concerned, because we already know him as a fine speaker, in fact. And not too long ago, in an improvised speech, he showed us that he had some skills as a disc jockey as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to get up to this evening in our charter party meeting. It's going to be very exciting. He's here to celebrate himself being a charter member of Excalibur Online Global Speakers. And so I would like you to raise your hands and applaud, and those buttons again, as we welcome on stage our Toastmaster for the evening, Daniel Arda.
Well, this is some enchanted evening. Thank you all for coming tonight. And tonight is an occasion that's truly worth celebrating, right here at Excalibur Online Global Speakers. Now, it's my first time experiencing the chartering of a new club, and frankly, I'm excited. How about you? Well, whether you've experienced a club chartering many times or for the first time, I hope that tonight is a memory that you'll treasure for a lifetime. And speaking of memories, let me take you back to a sultry Wednesday night in the exotic clime of Maidstone in Kent. That's southeast England for our international friends. And in my 20s, I'd sauntered down to a dingy bar in a shirt not entirely dissimilar to this, heady with anticipation. And I'd be lured in by the ritmo latino, the Latin rhythm. Oh, and you got to throw your shoulders into it. Have you ever danced salsa? If you have, put si senor in the chat, or put those emoticons out whatever way you see fit. And I'd go there to learn that salsa, and whenever I did, I'd listen out for something called the clave. And it goes for something, it sounds a little bit like this. Now the clave is referred to as the heartbeat of salsa music. And when you listen out for your heartbeat everything starts to click. Now, Toastmasters, will you indulge me un momento? A little moment? Because we're going to play a salsa beat, and I'd like you to follow along by clapping to the clave. So first, Christian will play some music. Listen out for la rhythm. Behind every great Toastmasters meeting are the people who help make it happen. And with that, I'd like to introduce the King of Time, Excalibur Speaker's Vice President of Education. And he was formerly District Director for District 71. And then he presided over the creation of 71 and 91. And if that wasn't enough cause for celebration, I met this individual at Excalibur last week, and I saw him celebrating Arsenal Football Club's first title win in 22 years. Those arms are up. We promised not to take that long. It ain't going to take 22 years. Therefore, explaining the timer roll, would you please give a warm hand for Freddie Daniels?
Good evening, fellow Excalibur Online Global speakers, all the way from sunny Brixton here in South London. And it is sunny here in South London. It has been baking, I tell you, it's been 30-something degrees. And it is going to be baking here tonight with all the excitement and all the energy that you are going to bring to this session this evening. My job tonight is to be your timer. That is to make sure that you stay within the times that are allotted to you. We have a rather different agenda than what we normally do tonight because we don't have any prepared speeches except for one prepared speech. I hope she's prepared it. But we have otherwise some table topics, and I shall run you through on the timing of those table topics. The table topics will be 1 minute for the green background, which you can see here. Before then, you'll just get this background. Then you get 1 minute, that one. 1 minute 30, that one. And then 2 minutes, that one. And I'll give you 30 seconds, and then we're going to start doing flashing signs like this. What I suggest you do is you pin me onto your screen, because then I should show up in the corner of your display and you will be able to see me at all times. So I shall enjoy the evening. I hope you do too. And I shall carry on with my timing duties. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Freddie. If there are 3 words to live by, watch that clock. Next up, our man turning those table topics has been embodying excellence since he joined Toastmasters in 2014. Yet in 2023, as Division L Director, he led his district to select distinguished status. Now that alone is worth celebration. And as our club's Vice President of Education, he's keeping his standards high and encouraging others to do the same. Please welcome your table topics master, John Akers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Right, table topics. Now, in this club, we have a distinctive approach to table topics. After each table topics speaker has spoken, we call up another Toastmaster to deliver a 45-second instant evaluation, incorporating 1 commendation and 1 recommendation. That's all you've got time for in 45 seconds, let's face it. So as you listen to table topics responses, you have to listen carefully, because you might be the person who's chosen to give an instant evaluation. It could be you, as it says on the agenda. So let's have a demonstration of that, and then you'll see exactly what I mean. I'm going to deliver a table topics question, bring someone up, and then ask for an instant evaluation. So here's a question. Create a brand new holiday people celebrate every year. What would that create a new holiday that people could celebrate every year? What would that be? Would you like to answer, please?
Terrific. Thank you. A new holiday. What a fine idea, because we don't have enough holidays. We clearly, even though every day has something it's dedicated to, I think we need one more. Let's see. What would it be? I think we should have a very specific day dedicated to EOGs. I think it's and Mark is looking confused. EOGs, Excalibur Online Global Speakers. Remember, we had to put it that way so it didn't sound like egos, which it is really, in fact. So we should have an EOGs Day. It should be the day of our chartering, and we should celebrate it every year. But speaking from the United States, could we please change the background from red to blue? Thank you.
Thank you, Beverly. And can we have an instant evaluation from Ken Essien, please?
Mr. Toastmaster, thank you for this opportunity. Beverly, what would this meeting look like without you? I loved how Beverly jumped in there with that quick tying back to where she is, where she doesn't normally get holidays apart from just one day a year, I hear. I love the humor, egos versus EOGs she brought into that delivery. One feedback for Beverly, please carry on. I love to hear you. I love to hear those stories. Let's have more of Beverly on stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ken. So, Toastmasters, I hope that's clear now. That's how we do it.
Well, thank you, John, and everyone who participated in the table topics, and I hope that you had a fun time. We had dancing and aliens. Where else would you find that apart from Toastmasters? Anyway, enough of the aliens and enough of the dancing. I understand that we have got a special guest waiting in the wings, along with a personal introduction from our club president. So with that, I'd like to welcome back Andrew Bennett.
It's a wonderful privilege to welcome our guest speaker this evening. She has very warm memories of Excalibur speakers and our clubs in District 91 when she was on her way, making her way through the rounds of the World Championship of Public Speaking. She came to our club meetings, she received feedback in various clubs in the district, including Excalibur speakers. We were delighted to see her, of course, online. It was actually the time of the pandemic, so she brought us great joy at that time as a speaker. She won the contest in 2021, and she was the very first winner from Africa. She then went on to gain the accredited speaker title from Toastmasters International, a much coveted title, and that again was in 2023. Again, she was the first person to achieve it from Africa. She now helps contestants make their way through the contest rounds, and already 3 of her speaking clients have placed 2nd and 3rd in the World Championships of Public Speaking. She's going to share with us this evening something of her inspirational journey in communication. And as a speaking coach, she'll also, I'm hoping, give us some tips as developing speakers. So we're looking forward to hearing her this evening. After her presentation, our club sponsor, Lynne, who is Club Growth Director of D91 this year, will take over and she will facilitate a question and answer. So if you have a question for our guest this evening, then you will be able to post that in the chat and we will have a question and answer session after she speaks to us. But here, with Present with Power, accredited speaker, world champion public speaker, and very dear friend, Verity Price.
Oh, thank you so much, Andrew. And I have to tell you, I am absolutely blown away by the energy that I'm feeling here. It's giving me flashbacks to lockdown and what online clubs were. And I think many have lost, and you have brought it back with so much power and energy. It is absolutely incredible. And just to share with all of you, getting ready to be with you tonight, I did say to Andrew, this is going to be a from the heart conversation and lots of time for you to ask me questions. Anything you want to know about speaking, I'm here to answer. But thinking about the fact that your club is chartering took me back to 2015, when, as a division director, I had the incredible privilege of chartering 2 clubs. Now, I had no idea that the second club I chartered would be the reason I became world champion. So let me give some context. I chartered clubs in 2015. I continued my Toastmasters journey until 2018, when at the ripe old age of 44, I discovered that I was expecting a miracle baby. And it was very clear that my time with Toastmasters was coming to an end, and my journey with motherhood was going to start. And so I made a decision to leave Toastmasters in August of 2018, 2 weeks before my little boy Dominic was born. And my decision that I made before I left Toastmasters, when I discovered I was pregnant, was that I was not going to give birth to a baby until I had given birth to my DTM, my Distinguished Toastmasters designation. And the problem with that decision was, this was now 7 months I had to do it. I had 25 speeches that I still needed to do. I was one of those Toastmasters who'd been so busy in leadership that I hardly ever spoke. And so in 7 months, with a growing belly, with morning sickness, waddling into any club I could find in Cape Town, I wrote and delivered 25 speeches, sometimes 2 speeches in a day to 2 different clubs. And it was an extraordinary journey in learning to look into my life for lived experiences, moments, messages that I could turn into a speech on the fly, go and deliver it, and start completing the journey. Beginning of August 2018, I seriously waddled into my club and I delivered my final DTM speech. And it was the story of how my mother tried to teach me when I was growing up that you should leave the world better than you find it. And it was my farewell to Toastmasters to say how this organization had left me better than it had found me. So here's the thing, if any of you followed my World Championship journey, you'll know that that speech became a semi-final speech, but I didn't know that then. I left Toastmasters, I said hello to motherhood, and then in 2020, lockdown hit, and I got a call that the second club I had chartered, Toastmasters, was going to close. They were down to 6 members in the pandemic, and they didn't feel they could keep going, and I just couldn't let that happen. So I rejoined online and worked out how we could revitalize that club together. And because of global connections that you make in this organization, I'd had the opportunity to meet Lance Miller, the 2005 world champion, and I had hosted him in Cape Town when I was division director. So I reached out and I asked him to come as a world champion to our online club meeting. And this was early lockdown. So when I put that news out, 200 people arrived at our meeting, and we went from 6 members to 20 in that single meeting. But that was when I recommitted to this organization. And it was later that year in 2020 that I saw Mike Carr deliver his World Championship speech with a message that changed everything for me. His message was, the victory is not in the result. The victory is in the try. In fact, that was one of our table topics, is effort more important than success? The victory is not in the result. The victory is in the try. And it hit me that the last time I'd even tried in the international contest had been in 2015, before I became division director. I hadn't competed for 6 years. And 2 weeks after watching that speech, I delivered my icebreaker at the club, Starting Pathways. And because I'm a lazy Toastmaster, what I did was I went through old speeches and I dusted off my DTM speech about my mother telling me to leave the world better than I found it. I rewrote it as a way to introduce myself to the club and let them get to know a bit about me. And I was in my bedroom on Zoom, had the club meeting. We finished. I went into my bathroom. I was brushing my teeth. I was thinking about the speech and how the message that my mom had left me with really had changed my life. And I suddenly thought, that's a contest speech. And as I thought that, I heard a voice, I don't know where, somewhere inside this head, and it said, you are going to be the next world champion. And I actually jumped because my whole body, even saying it, I get goosebumps. It was the strangest positive premonition I've ever had in my life. So unrealistic. 35,000 contestants, no one from Africa, only 5 women in the entire time, 80 years of competing. But I had this complete and utter knowing. And that was when I decided to enter in 2021, rewrite my mom's speech about leave the world better than you find it, and start competing. Now, the speech resonated. I got to win the Southern African finals, the District 74. And when I got the news in July that I'd made the top 28, that was when my life changed. Because we were in lockdown, for the first time, well, the second time, because 2020 would have been the same, but certainly for me, it was the first time that I could practice my speeches in front of audiences that weren't just Capetonians, South Africans. I got to visit clubs like Excalibur. In fact, I visited 42 clubs in 16 countries on 5 continents because they said, yes, come and practice. We'd love to have a semi-finalist. I remember Andrew emails backwards and forwards, making space for me on the agenda. I have never felt such global connection. You can see I'm actually getting emotional, as I did when I went on that contest journey. And my winning speeches, my semi-final speech, and ultimately my final speech of Write a Different Story, they were co-created with clubs like this, with the kind of feedback you've been giving each other in your table topic sessions. I was given golden nuggets in every club I visited that I could use and work with to strengthen my speeches. And so by the time I heard the life-changing news in August of 2021 that I had actually won the world championship, I had to 100% say, I did not do this alone. I did this in the community that is Toastmasters, and it has been absolutely life-changing. It's really shown me how we grow as speakers through feedback, through opportunities to practice. If you saw my early versions, they were terrible, but they got better with practice. And that's what a club like yours, especially of a global nature, the gift that you are giving to all your members is so many diverse there goes the word, perspectives, so many diverse perspectives to help you level up your speaking to become the best speaker that you can be. So it really has been a full circle moment coming back 5 years later, almost 5 years later to the month. I mean, we're 2 months out from when I was with Excalibur and started that journey of co-creating my speeches. But actually, this entire journey of becoming world champion would not have happened if I hadn't chartered a club in 2015, that in 2020 I felt called to rejoin to help turn that club around, that led me to entering the contest. And so really, before I get into answering your questions about presenting, because I want to give you whatever you want to know, I just want you to hold this moment of this new beginning as incredibly sacred, because you don't have any idea what this club could do for one or many of your members. And that's, for me, what we need to celebrate today, is it's the chartering of a new course. And I have no doubt that you are all going to create unbelievable results. So have fun, Excalibur. And now anything you want to know about speaking, I am all yours.
Verity, thank you so much for that inspirational speech. It was open, honest, and as you said, it was absolutely from the heart. And I absolutely remember you from when you came to Excalibur. We were giving feedback, and it was absolutely a delight to have you back here with us again today. And I have to say, as Club Growth Director, I do have to mention the fact that you said charter a club. Because guys, if you charter a club, you could be the next world champion. So I could not say that, but and also the comment about the victory is not in the result, the victory is in the try. I think that's so powerful, because we have a lot of members and a lot of guests tonight who have tried and tried to go through all the different levels, and some have been very successful, but they'd like to be even more successful in the contests. So I'm wondering if we have any questions from the audience that they would like to ask Verity about how they can elevate their speeches to get themselves to the global stage. Now I'm looking, either put your hands up, and I'm desperate.
Beverly's got a hand up.
Beverly.
Yes.
Yes, Charity, thank you for that. You mentioned the difference in the number of women and men who have won. Can you tell me why you think that is?
It's a nice contentious question, and luckily not so much anymore, because since I won, we've had 2 more women win and 3 women in the top 3. So we really are changing that story. Honestly, my reason why I think up until I won, only 5 women had won. One of the main reasons, my sister, Kay, discovered when she made the semifinals in 2012. And she worked the hardest she'd ever worked. And she went to the convention, she competed, and she came second in her semifinal to Ryan Avery. And 2 days later, he became the 2012 world champion. But after Kay's semi-final, world champion Mark Hunter came up to her and he said, please promise me you're going to come back. And she said, why are you saying that? He said, because so many amazing women get to this level and they don't keep coming back. He said the men never stop coming back, but the women stop because they have families, they have responsibilities, they maybe don't have the capacity. And so I think for a lot of reasons, that's why you see now there are women that don't stop, but for a lot of times people would compete and then life would consume them. And the honest truth for me, I'm world champion because it was virtual. I had an 18-month-old baby. I would not have been competing in person. So I'm sure there's other reasons why for a long time maybe it was biased, but now I think it's an equal playing ground. Speeches have become so much more vulnerable and authentic in recent years. So the rules that used to dominate are not there anymore, and it's heart that seems to be winning, and that's not something that's owned by gender.
Thank you.
Thank you, Verity. That's something for us girls to remember. It's the heart that matters. And so to move on, Smita, and then we'll have Thomas. So Smita, your question, please.
Good evening, Verity, or good morning, whichever part of the world. Okay, great. My question is, how did life change for you? I've spoken to some of the male world champions, and I know the answers for them. And I'd love to know how life changed for you after you became world champion, and how do you expect it to progress from a public speaking perspective?
Oh, great question. So the change it was interesting. I think a part of me thought if you ever win this, it's an instant overnight change. What changes instantly when you win is the amount of attention and focus. And because we were online, my social media blew up. I didn't know how to handle all the messages coming in. But the actual professional changes started slowly coming in about 6 weeks, 2 months after winning, where my corporate clients were like, wow, can we pay you to come and speak? So from a professional perspective, I can easily say I quadrupled my income. What I used to be able to charge, I could charge 4 times as much. So it was a big change for me as a speaker and as a facilitator. It opened up the world to me. And as Mike Carr, the 2020 world champion, the victory is not in the result, victory is in the try. He said to me after I won, we had a Zoom call just to kind of give me support. We do it for each other every year. There's a whole lot of us. We'll meet with the new world champion to support them. And he said, all you need to know about this title, it won't get you the job, but it will put you in their top 3 speakers that they're considering, because it is such an accolade. But it's a choice. It's a choice if you use the accolade to advance your career. There's many world champions that went back to doing the job they were doing before. And then there's world champions like myself and others that are professional speakers or coaches who use the accolade to advance their career. So it's been life-changing, but I truly believe it's a choice and you have to be strategic in how you use it. It doesn't stay fresh. There's new world champions coming in all the time. So it's up to you how you leverage it. But it has changed my life, and probably the biggest prize of it all, if I'm honest, is the world of Toastmasters and the fact that every year I get to visit the most beautiful countries, meet the most beautiful people that would never have happened for me. And that's probably been the biggest prize, way above career.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Verity, so much. We've got several more questions. I'm going to see as many as we can get through. We're about to go on green, I think. So I'm going to ask Thomas, you're next in line. So Thomas, your question, please.
Thank you. Verity, thank you very much for sharing that journey about speaking. I'm just wondering, when you're on that level, how do you keep up that you sound authentic? Because it's all about perfection. But when you're too perfect, then you can't keep this up anymore, right? I mean, what's your secret?
So are you talking about specifically for the contest or all speaking?
So when I'm on a contest and I realize I'm competing with very well-prepared speakers, and I felt like sometimes they don't come across as really authentic anymore. It's just everything is so perfect, right? But how do you do this then, on that level? Just wondering.
What a great question. And I think it was David Brooks or one of the world champions said, when you get to the highest levels, you have to take your speech, and your job as a speaker is to take the polish off. And that is difficult. It's difficult to take all that rehearsal and then take a bit of the polish off so it feels real. The trick that I have that I recommend to everyone, because speeches can really start sounding boring when you've done them too many times, is I mix up how I rehearse them. So then I will do it like I'm telling a child a bedtime story, and I'm just doing all my words, but completely different to how I actually would be doing it in the competition. I love accents. So I would do my whole speech like I was from the Valley and I was American and I was just saying all my words. But what happened was it brought freshness, so that when I came back to doing it the way I wanted to deliver it, there was a level of fresh energy. So that's my trick. And it helps to take the polish off a little bit.
What a fantastic tip. I feel I should now be talking to Mark like a 5-year-old. Mark, please, would you like to ask Verity your question? Oh, Mark.
Hello, Verity. Hello.
Yes.
It's great to meet you. Where you can talk back.
Yes.
In going through contest at each of the levels, the audience and their expertise changes, especially with the judging. And how do you change your speech for those judges? And how do you change, and what do you do, frankly, at the district level where your speech is with judges of one level, but that speech is going to be reviewed by a judge of a higher level? How do you thread that needle?
It's a huge challenge, and it wasn't something I was thinking about when I was competing, because when you're competing, you're so in it, you're just trying to win the next contest. As a coach, I now have that much broader view. And the challenge that I have with many of my clients is that certain districts are very biased on what a good speech is for their district. And they somehow miss the broader view of this is not what wins in your country or in your district. You're trying to find a winner that is going to win the quarterfinals. And so it's very difficult. But when I'm coaching clients at club level, it's like, what does your club enjoy? What's going to help you win club? And we do that. Then we start strengthening it for area, strengthening it for division. By the time we're working on district, we're looking at globally, what's the most global message that you can get across here, but still meet your district's needs. And it's so hard. It's not an easy one, but it is an awareness that you have. And the club contest speech should not look anything like your district speech. So that change should be happening all along. I definitely, I think I would have won district without coaching in my year, but because I had coaching from Lance Miller 10 days before district, he coached me up to a level that what won district also got me to semifinals. That's the difference. Get someone on board who's been there, who can look at it with that broader vision, and still meet your district's needs if there's some of that internal bias.
Verity, thank you so much. Some really, really useful tips there. And I'm afraid, everybody, we've actually run out of time. Verity, I don't know if you're staying with us for a little bit longer, maybe afterwards. Otherwise, I'm sure if people asked you a question, you could respond to them. So I'm sure that we had about 3 or 4 more questions. But Verity, thank you so much for your inspiring speech and also for responding to the questions. And absolutely delightful to have you back with us again. Don't leave it so long next time.
Thank you so much. It has been such a joy. I am going to leave because I'm sick. I have crawled out of bed. I put on my sparkles for all of you, but it's just wonderful to be with you. The one thing I would say, if you're wanting ongoing tips from me, verityprice.com, there's a free newsletter every 2 weeks, extra tips, extra ways to help you upskill your speaking. But having seen what I'm seeing here tonight, you are going to great heights. And thank you so much for inviting me back. And yes, I hope to visit again soon.
Thank you very much, Verity. All the very best and get better soon. Thank you so much for getting out of your sickbed for us. Just imagine, guys, someone who's as ill as that can still speak as amazingly as she does. It's now my great delight to say goodbye to Verity and hand back to Daniel, our Toastmaster. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Well, our thanks to Verity for a wonderful session. Just the way that she spoke, hold this moment of this new beginning as incredibly sacred. And that's a memory that's going to certainly linger with me, and I hope that it will linger with you. And with that, I'd like to thank Lynne for facilitating the session and Andrew for the introduction. Next up, we're now going to be presenting certificates to charter members of Excalibur Online Global Speakers. And we have a dynamic duo lined up and ready to do just that. And one half of that exact dynamic duo is District 91's outgoing director for 2025-2026 and a long-standing member of Excalibur Speakers since 2019. And Debbie actually recalls interviewing Verity at Excalibur many years ago. And she's thrilled to see that story come full circle tonight. Accompanying Debbie is her successor, incoming District 91 director, who's led us a yoga session for over 5,000 people in Trafalgar Square. That means presenting certificates won't exactly be a stretch. Seema's a keynote speaker, chief strategy officer at Headstride, and a proud member of Harrovian Speakers for over 12 years. And as of April this year, a fully certified Excaliburger. And please welcome both of our presenters, Debbie Williams and Seema Mennon.
Hello. Thank you very much, Daniel. I'm hoping that we will have on screen the list of charter members that we will be celebrating. And I just want to say a big congratulations to Excalibur Speakers Online and to all the charter members. Please may we have the first certificate that we can both present. We're both going to be taken in turns. I can't actually see the name very well, but it's Amelia Woods. Sorry, the first person we want to celebrate is Amelia Woods. Round of applause, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Debbie, do you want me to do this one?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take turns doing it.
Okay. Congratulations, Andrew P. Bennett. You are the charter member of EOGS.
And our next charter member is Beverly Wise. Congratulations, Beverly.
We have Daniel Arda, the Toastmaster for this evening. Congratulations.
Our next charter member is Fred Elkenboom. Is Fred here? Not here this evening, but thank you.
And following that, we've got Freddie Daniels. Freddie, welcome to EOGS, Excalibur. Freddie was the reason that I joined Excalibur online.
Our next charter member is Ian Efferson. Congratulations, Ian.
And we have got John Akers. John, congratulations. Welcome to the team.
Our next charter member is Kenneth Essien. Congratulations, Ken.
We have Krishan S. Ramcharan. Krishan, I think you are the VPPR. If you can.
Yeah, and I'm sharing. I can't be on screen, but thank you so much.
Welcome.
Our next charter member is Lynne Geyer. Congratulations, Lynne, who is also a sponsor for the club as well. So congratulations, Lynne.
Coming up next is Mark Lipton. Mark, welcome to the team. All the way from California.
Our next charter member is Mirko D'Amato. Well, congratulations, Mirko.
We've got Pallavi Pawar. Welcome to the team, Pallavi.
Our next charter member is Samir Malik. Congratulations, Samir.
Ooh, we did it.
We've got Simon Cooper following Samir. Simon, welcome to Excalibur.
Thank you very much. That's lovely.
Our next charter member is Smita Naran. Smita, congratulations.
Following Smita, we've got Sophia Wang. Sophia, welcome to Excalibur Online Global Toastmasters. Sophia, are you there?
Okay. Our next charter member is Teresa Palmer. Congratulations, Teresa.
And that's all, ladies.
We've missed out one person, so I need to say congratulations to Seema Mennon as well, who is also a charter member. So congratulations, Seema.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Sorry, you guys forgot me.
Sorry, I can't see who's speaking. Sorry.
That was Pema.
It's
Pema.
Pema.
That was done
can we
intentionally
have
to see who was paying attention. I'm actually going to pull
okay,
it
so
up. Please
let's
bear with
bring
me.
Pema on screen and so we can formally congratulate Pema as well.
Thank
Pema,
you. May we continue. Thank you. May we continue to grow and flourish with the great energy that was generated during the charter.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone, to all the charter members. And Seema, any words from you before we hand back to Daniel?
It's my pleasure to be here and to be part of the elite Excaliburgers. I've got Debbie Williams and Lynne from the trio already members, and I was the only one who was left out. So now I've joined, and we are the trios here at Excalibur. Looking forward to improving my speaking skills with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Daniel. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, tremendous trio, and to Debbie and Seema for those wonderful presentations. With that, I understand that a toast is soon to be in order, and our next speaker is someone many of us know as a leader, a mentor, MC, and the woman who somehow manages to run an entire division while still finding time to write speeches that make us laugh, think, and occasionally question our life choices. But beyond titles and roles, she cares deeply about people, about connection, about creating spaces where others can grow, find confidence, and be heard. Please join me in welcoming Division B Director and a member of Excalibur Speakers, Mary Ann Ledger.
Thank you, Excaliburgers. I'm so honored to give this toast today. A couple of years ago, something curious happened at Excalibur Speakers. We gave birth. Now, before anyone starts questioning the biology of Toastmasters, let me explain. A little online community came into existence. And since I've known Excalibur, it was spearheaded by the wonderful Beverly Wise. Nurtured with care, encouragement, and probably the occasional WhatsApp message, "Who's got the Zoom link for tonight's meeting?" At first, it was small, a little seedling in a small pot. A few members here, a few guests there, people logging in from their kitchens, their spare bedrooms, and occasionally maybe from car parked outside a supermarket, which is the only place with good Wi-Fi. But something beautiful happened. The more love we poured into it, the more it grew. And it grew, and it grew. And eventually, the little pot couldn't contain it anymore. Now, in Toastmasters, this usually means two things. Either the VP has completely lost control of the agenda, or the club is thriving. Thankfully, in this case, it's the second one. We started as an online extension that became something much bigger. A genuine global community. And today I was looking at all of the countries. We have US, Italy, Norway, UK, Saudi, Australia, Canada, and Mauritius. A place where people from different countries, cultures, time zones, and backgrounds could come together through something surprisingly simple. Stories, laughter, connection, and sometimes celebrations. And tonight, my fellow Excaliburgers, this little seedling officially became its own charter club, Excalibur Online Global Speakers. It's proof that people showed up again and again. It's proof that a community can grow beyond walls, cities, and borders. So to everyone who watered this little plant, who encouraged it, supported it, who kept turning up, your little seedling is now a thriving garden. So I ask you all to unmute yourself, raise your virtual glass or whatever it is that you have near you, and join me in congratulating Excalibur Online global speakers. Congratulations, you've made it. The charter, the members, the executive committee. Congratulations, everyone. Let's hear some noise for EOS. Woohoo! And let me tell you something. Knowing Excalibur and knowing art influence, it will probably continue multiplying until we eventually rename it to Excalibur Online Global Speakers International Galactic Division. At that point, I expect fully hybrid meetings with Mars. Thank you all so much for this honor. Good luck, EOGs. We're here if you need us. Hello, Pupper. Sorry, the dog is right here. And I will hand you back to the wonderful Toastmaster, Daniel.
Well, thank you, Marianne, for a rousing toast. And I'm hoping that we're going to go galactic very soon. And with that, may I extend a series of thank yous to our presenters, especially Verity and guests from District 91 and beyond, to those who helped charter this fine new club. Our club members also for creating tonight's meeting magic, and to you, all of you across the world, for attending the launch of Excalibur Online Global Speakers. Now, before we join the after party, please would you sign this online card that's just shown up in the chat. I hope that you can see it. So if you click on the link, please do add your greetings, your well wishes for the birth of this new club. It would mean so much to us. And so again, if you look in the chat for the link, if you've got any issues, please do private message me directly. I'll be happy to add your note on your behalf. We'll just take a minute to share your greetings, but in the meantime, Christian, can you hit that music? And with that, the minute of musica is up for you to share your greetings. All that leaves for me to say is to go forth and multiply your speaking greatness, my friends. And when you feel a little bit lost, remember, you can count on the clave, your heartbeat. Back to you, Mr. President.
Huge thank you and massive applause to our Toastmaster of this meeting, Toastmaster Daniel Arda. Show your reaction buttons for Daniel. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Daniel. We've enjoyed sharing our charter party with you. If you are new to Toastmasters, we've been delighted to meet you. If you are interested in finding about membership of this club, then there will be a breakout room in the after party after the meeting, and you'll be able to meet up with our Vice President of Membership, Mark. He'll explain to you how it functions a little bit, the membership in this club, and we can put you into the breakout to discuss with him. It's been such a joy to welcome, of course, Verity and our friends in District 91. This club is prepared to take its place in District 91, in Division B, and in Area 9. We are going to be playing a full part in district events. So watch out for us, because Excalibur Online Global Speakers are on their way. There's someone that I thought that we ought to invite to the party. And I'm just opening the door for him to come through now. And that is Ralph C. Smedley, the founder of Toastmasters International. And I didn't think that we could have a charter party celebration without some words about this remarkable man who started the Toastmasters International movement. And he would never have imagined how great it will become and how international. And the international caliber and quality is really seen in this club. So if you'd like to just hear these few words from me, I got them in the book, The Story of Toastmasters, which you should have on your bookshelves. If you haven't got it, get it from headquarters. So Dr. Smedley continued to emphasize the Toastmasters credo of belief in the individual. and the importance of keeping the Toastmasters program simple and enjoyable. A modest man, he never seemed to lose his sense of wonder regarding the phenomenal growth of the organization. I'm impressed by the fact that a simple idea, put to work in so simple a manner, has grown into such an instrument of service to so many people. And we are the beneficiaries of that service, the service that has come from generation to generation of Toastmasters, the service from Excalibur Speakers, our parent club, the service from District 91, into which we are chartering, in which some of us have been members also of other districts in the world. We've all learned and we've gained so much, and we're going to progress together on this road as Toastmasters, and we're going to grow in strength and go from strength to strength. We did have a slight problem in the certificate presentation. So Christian, have you managed to sort out Seema's certificate form? Because we didn't present to Seema, and she is the incoming district director of District 91. So I'd like to just to be able to present that certificate if we can. Did you have that for us? Now I know you had a problem with the file.
Yeah, it's coming up in 10 seconds.
Okay. Well, we can wait 10 seconds. We've all got a glass in our hand to pass the time. So that's always good.
Could I, in our breakout room for the table topics, Adam was at 1 minute, 19 seconds when the doors shut. But in 5 seconds, he wrapped up the speech and he didn't get an evaluation. So I just wanted to call out a bit of feedback, if I can, while we're waiting for Christian. Adam paused when he was given the topic. He looked away from the screen, and when he made first contact, it was like he had been honing a speech for days. It was a powerful delivery. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you so much, Samir.
Thank you. Thank you, Samir, for that. Here's Seema, and I think your certificate is coming up, Seema. Ah, there you are. We couldn't go without Seema's presentation. Seema, receive your Charter Member Certificate, Excalibur Online Global Speakers. We're delighted to have you with us.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. It took a bit for me to unmute myself. Thank you.
Not to worry, not to worry. But it's great to be able to present that. And we will also give just a little call out, because I know that she'll watch the video afterwards, to Sue Mannering, who is a charter member of the club, not able to be with us this evening, but she's in all of our hearts. We know Sue very well. So Sue, this one is a call out for you, and welcome as a charter member of Excalibur Online Global Speakers. As I said, in a few moments, I shall draw the formal aspect of the meeting to a close. We will go into an after party. That's our social time. We like to sit maybe with a glass in hand and chat, and you can come and get to know us a little bit better as a club. That would be absolutely great. Just join with us. We'll remember the words of Smedley this evening, how amazed he was that this simple idea, so simply created, has gone on to take over the whole world and lead to splendid communication. I'm excited about the coming year and to see what we should achieve together, and I'm sure you are as well. So I think it's time for our buttons, our reaction buttons and our jazz hands, and maybe come off mute. Come on, it's time that we heard some noise and some applause for Excalibur Online Global Speakers, and I now declare the official meeting closed.